Ladies and gentlemen, awaiting the arrival of Chief Guest. You can we are going to celebrate International Women's Day 2023 और बहुत ही सुंदर और को आगे बढ़ाना है जब हम सब भागीदार हों उसमें। तो बहुत आप लोगों का CSIR की तरफ से, और जैसा कि आप देख सकते हैं कि गतिविधियां हम स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं, मुख्य अतिथि लोगों के साथ यहाँ करेंगे। एक और रिक्वेस्ट, अपने मोबाइल फोन या ऑफ रखें सो दैट कि वी कैन एंड एज वी कैन सी along with his spouse, Mrs. Manju Singh. We of course have the guidance of Dr. N. CSIR feels really proud to host this event today. And what a better occasion but to plant trees. क्योंकि हमें अपने environment को, अपने प्रकृति को अपने साथ रखना है, और अपने साथ रखने के लिए हमें उसको नर्चर करना है। और मुझे लगता है कि महिलाएं इसके लिए सबसे उपयोगी हैं, बिकॉज दे क्रिएट, दे नर्चर एंड दे ट्रांसफॉर्म। और ये बहुत ही खूबसूरत तस्वीर जो आप सब देख रहे हैं इस वक्त महिलाओं के साथ, मुख्य अतिथि का अभिनंदन। और ज़रूर ये आप तस्वीरें देख रहे हैं, लेकिन तस्वीरें एक तरह से गवाह होती हैं एक उस समय का, उस पल का, जिसके हम सब साक्षी होते हैं एक साथ। तो आप ये जो तस्वीरें देख रहे हैं, अब आप ये भी देख रहे हैं कि हॉल के अंदर मुख्य अतिथि अंदर आते हुए सबके साथ में मंजू सिंह जी हैं, और हमारी डायनामिक लीडर डॉक्टर एन कलाई सेल्वी। बस प्रतीक्षा की 2 घड़ी, जैसा कि हम अक्सर कहते हैं, बस वो 2 पल जिसका हमें इंतज़ार है जब वो हॉल के अंदर आएंगे और हम कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करेंगे। हमारे साथ निवृत्ति राय जी भी हैं, जो कंट्री हेड हैं इंटर्न इंडिया की, वो हमारे स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं आज। हमारे साथ साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी के लीडिंग लाइट्स यहाँ मौजूद हैं, महिलाएं भी पुरुष भी। प्रोफेसर अजय सूद, प्रिंसिपल साइंटिफिक एडवाइज़र, तमाम सेक्रेटरी साइंस डिपार्टमेंट्स के। और लेडीज़ एंड जेंटलमैन, यू ऑल आर वेरी वेरी स्पेशल टुडे एज यू हैव जॉइन्ड अस इन दिस प्रोग्राम। नाउ वॉकिंग टुवर्ड्स द हॉल एज वी कैन सी। नहीं, अभी पहले वृक्षारोपण। और हम देख सकते हैं श्रीमती मंजू सिंह जी को पौधा लगाते हुए, पानी देते हुए। लेट्स हैव अ राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज। और ये पेड़ गवाह बनेगा आगे आने वाले समय के लिए, जब हम सब याद रखेंगे आज का ये दिन। कल 8 मार्च को ही हमने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस मनाया, और आज उसी के उपलक्ष्य में CSIR आज 9 मार्च को ये समारोह कर रहा है. It's a celebration of the rise and shining women of India and all across the world. So it's a very, very special occasion, ladies and gentlemen. I also thank all the other dignitaries, people who are present here, also from the media, who are partners in progress. And they always say that women are of a full circle. When women get involved in something, they really create it to the fullest. And as we can see, the plant is almost being planted there. And now the water is being put. And this is the real symbol and picture of partnership, I would say. That you can say कि पहले पौधा लगाया गया है और अब पानी हमारे माननीय मंत्री जी दे रहे हैं, उसमें सारी महिलाएं साथ हैं, पुरुष साथ में है जो सहयोग दे रहे हैं. तो मुझे लगता है कि अपने आप में, you know, when we talk about visual communication, it's a great picture as to how we all come together collectively. मुझे लगता है वो तस्वीर ज़्यादा अच्छी है जो आपको देखनी चाहिए, बट कुछ ही देर में अब हम इंतज़ार करेंगे निवृत्ति जी हमारे साथ. तो तालियां और बज सकती हैं थोड़ी सुबह. शुक्रिया, बहुत बहुत स्वागत आप सबका एक बार फिर. और अब कभी हम उस तस्वीर की तरफ, कभी हॉल के अंदर अभी आते जाते रहेंगे, लेकिन इंतज़ार इसका है कि जल्द ही जब वो अंदर आए तो हम कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करें, उसको आगे बढ़ाएं. बहुत ही व्यस्त समय से आज समय निकाला है मुख्य अतिथि माननीय डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी ने, और हम उनके आभारी हैं कि वो आए हैं. श्रीमती मंजू सिंह जी यहाँ आई हैं. And this interaction now that you can see with everyone. As they say in English, say it with flowers. We are saying it with lots of trees, because that's what is going to be around us, and that's what is going to really protect us, preserve the nature all around, and that is something that we really have to believe in. It's very, very crucial and significant. So now the walk towards the hall. And you can see Mrs. Manju Singh actually leading the way, and the minister actually following in this case. So round of applause for all the women. Women, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, are taking center stage across the sectors, and it's a very, very vibrant time. Our Honorable Prime Minister has always promoted and encouraged women, cherishing their role in India's progress, as he said yesterday. We have a woman President of India right now, respected Madam Draupadi Murmu ji, and what an occasion that we are celebrating here at CSIR. We are truly, truly privileged to be collectively here to witness this moment today. So now the dignitaries have arrived, as we can see, and as we are always saying, we welcome all the dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. We have just seen the tree plantation which has just happened. We welcome Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh. We welcome Mrs. Manju Singh, who's come here for the first time. Welcome, Madam Manju Singh, to CSIR complex and campus. Along with our dynamic leader and DG of CSIR, Dr. N. Kalai Selvi, along with lots of other scientific luminaries who are present here. Nivruti Roy ji from Intel India, the country head. She is also present as a guest of honor, Professor A.K. Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor, other leading secretaries and scientific dignitaries here. I welcome you all on behalf of CSIR. I'm Rakhi Bakshi, and as we all know, that this is a great occasion. The occasion is very, very special, and so are all of you. So for very, very special people, especially special women, a round of applause for all of you. Madam Manju Singh ji, हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं. आप पहली बार CSIR में आई हैं. और डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी, माननीय मंत्री हमारे बीच में, हम आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करते हैं. और इन सब के बीच अभी जैसे आप माननीय लोग जो यहाँ उपस्थित हैं, हम सब विजुअल्स देख रहे थे कि ट्री प्लांटेशन हुआ अभी. और जैसा कि हम कह रहे थे कि मिट्टी से जो हमारा नाता है, रिश्ता है, वो कहीं ना कहीं रिफ्लेक्ट हुआ. और हम सब बहुत बहुत गौरवान्वित महसूस कर रहे हैं, खासकर हमारी डायनेमिक लीडर DG CSIR की डॉक्टर एन कलाई सेल्वी, उनके लिए भी तालियां. A very iconic personality, somebody who's really leading the way, especially when women in science and innovation are concerned. बस 2 पंक्तियां यहाँ पर. नारी है सौंदर्य की मूर्ति, पर सुंदरता तक सीमित नहीं. नारी है सौंदर्य की मूर्ति, लेकिन सुंदरता तक सीमित नहीं. शौर्य है उसमें और साहस भी. कोमल जरूर है पर कमजोर नहीं. So women are strong, women are powerful, and women bring a lot of esteem all around. So distinguished guests, ladies and here, VP Intel India, and we also welcome Professor A.K. Sood, who is here. Of course, DG and Kalai Selvi ji of CSIR, who is here, along with all of you, who are very, very special people today and who are present amidst us. I invite onto the stage our Honorable Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. Sir, I would request you to come on to the stage, sir. I invite Mrs. Manju Singh ji to please grace the occasion and come on the stage, please, ma'am. I welcome Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. I welcome Professor Dr. N. Kalai Selvi, DG CSIR. Welcome, ma'am. Our special guest of honor is here, Ms. Nivruti Rai. She is country head Intel India. I welcome you, ma'am, onto the stage. We have Dr. Ranjana Agrawal. She's the director on NISPA and also the chairperson of Core Organizing Committee of International Women's Day Celebration 2023. Welcome all of you. और माननीय आप सब बैठ जाएं. जैसी कि परंपरा रहती है, किसी भी शुभ काम की हम शुरुआत करते हैं तो परंपरा का निर्वाह करते हुए सबसे पहले हम लैंप लाइट करते हैं और सरस्वती वंदना भी जो शुरू होगी यहाँ पर. तो आप सबसे निवेदन है कि कृपया दीप प्रज्वलन के लिए आगे आएं. माननीय अतिथिगण, निवृत्ति जी आ गए हैं. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सभी माननीय अतिथियों का दीप प्रज्वलन के लिए और संस्कृत का ये बहुत ही खूबसूरत श्लोक जो आप सब इस वक्त सुन रहे हैं. और कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए अब मैं निवेदन करूंगी हमारी ऑनरेबल DG CSIR डॉक्टर N. कलाई सेल्वी जी से कि वो सबका स्वागत और अभिनंदन करें. और सबसे पहले मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि वो स्वागत करें माननीय मंत्री डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी का और मंजू सिंह जी का। निवृत्ति राय जी की, उनका अभिनंदन अभी और अभिनंदन करते हुए श्रीमती मंजू सिंह का, कलाई सेल्वी जी,
an end-to-end supporter, the woman behind the success, the massive success, the Himalayan success of the minister, Madam Manju Singh ji. The invisible, the impeccable, and indirect supporter of the entire ministry, and the First Lady of the Ministry of Science and Technology, Manju Singh Madam ji, and Dr. Nivruti Rai from Intel India, today's guest of honor, who is all the time traveling with CSIR in some way or the other through projects, especially through IRASTE. Professor Sood, I would say, the all-time well-wisher of CSIR and all-time supporter of CSIR, PSA Dr. Ajay Sood. Dr. Ranjana, the chairperson of International Women's Day Celebrations 2023 of CSIR. And my own secretary friends, Dr. Rajesh, Secretary DBT, and Mrs. Asima Rajesh. Dr. Ravichandran, Secretary of MOES, Madam Ishwari, and Nivedita is a pleasant surprise to all of us, daughter of Dr. Ravichandran, and my spouse. Special mention is needed there also. Entire CSIR family, I would say entire CSIR family plus extended family from the Ministry of Science and Technology, and my extended family members in terms of press and media. Special mention about all the 37 national lab directors. Most of them are here with a spouse, and headquarters leaders in the form of heads of departments. Few of them are here with a spouse. And I would say my close to heart CSIR family in one line. So good morning to each and every one of you. Today is a very, very special day, not only in the history of CSIR, but also this is a day to be cherished very specially by each and every one, not only from CSIR family, but also from the Ministry of Science and Technology, because the head, the leader, the live example, the role model scientific leader, Mantriji, who is always known for creating new cultures in his own way, this time also is creating a new culture by way of decorating the stage along with the spouse, the real moral supporter of him in his life throughout, and therefore we are all getting blessed to have this amazing role model couple as chief guest here on this day. And our happiness is doubled that whenever CSIR is getting described, it is for not only for science and technology, but also science for industry. Here we have the champion from industry, Intel India, who was our former society member, who is and who will be our all-time traveling together friend, Dr. Nivruti Roy, as the guest of honor, and therefore our excitation is doubled today. And friends, CSIR is always known for coming up with, setting up many, many good examples. Even today, I'm very proud to say that it is not because I'm standing here as a women leader, but apart from me, very proudly I can say CSIR is one such organization wherein of the 37 national laboratories, 6 laboratories are having women directors. And in Delhi itself, in CSIR headquarters itself, we have 8 women leaders as heads of various departments. I think such a great, I would say, women army. I think that kind of a Nari Shakti, women power, is already there in CSIR. And therefore, as usual, CSIR is coming up with setting of very many new examples, and that is proven, getting proven and demonstrated in terms of women leadership also. If you just see this year's Women's Day celebrations theme, I think the campaign theme is given as Embrace Equity. It is not equality, it is equity. Because equality can be the destination, whereas equity should be the path and it should be the medium of reaching that one. Therefore, we are going to embrace equity. We are going to reach equality through equity. And I should say, without any kind of a second thought or hesitation, I wish to really give a big salute to all the those who are here, who are supporting from the back all the female leaders. Whether it is at home or in the office, in the headquarters or in the lab or at any level, I think male is always known for the generosity, for everything, and they show extra generosity in supporting female in very many ways, especially it is happening in the field of science, technology, and innovation. That is also getting exemplified here, and thank you so very much. Now, coming to CSIR, why CSIR should celebrate this Women's Day in such a big fashion? I would say internally I was thinking, now only I'm just revealing how it started. Like whenever you get the movie, you will see how the movie got conceived. So similarly, I was thinking internally that this year we should celebrate it in a slightly bigger way, not just because I have been made as the leader. I thought that we have to give some kind of an impact through the International Women's Day this year. And when I was about to inform it to the Honorable Minister, actually the message came from the other side, and therefore I started flying. So I told Minister without any hesitation, sir, I wanted to keep it as a suspense, and I wanted to have one more suspense that Madam Manju Singh is going to be the chief guest along with you for the Women's Day. Then he said, how you can do it as a suspense without even informing me, he asked. So this is how, both of them, both Minister as well as Manju Singh Madam, the moment I just came up with this kind of a request, immediately they said yes. And therefore, friends, we are all so fortunate to have such a great kind of leadership. And sir, we are extremely thankful to you. And on behalf of CSIR, I extend a very warm welcome to both Minister as well as Manju Singh Madam. Thank you so very much. And again, on behalf of CSIR, I extend a very warm welcome to the guest of honor, Nivruti Rai. My hearty welcome to PSA sir. And I take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to all the secretaries from other departments and ministries and my own CSIR family. And I should say the support from Minister's office and the support from secretaries from their family, that was so much amazing to me. And I'm really so happy. And I am the most excited person today because all of you really respected, all of you really considered, all of you really considered Kalaiselvi's request to come and grace today's occasion on the special day of International Women's Day celebrations 2023 of CSIR. So without taking much of your time, already I have taken more time. So I extend a very warm welcome to each and every one of you, and I look forward to listen to the proceedings. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those insights here. And we are also truly excited, as you said, ma'am, we also share this excitement with you to celebrate this special occasion, special International Women's Day celebration here under the guidance of you, ma'am, and of course the presence of Mrs. Manju Singh and Dr. Jiten Singh, who's really taken out, I'm sure, some valuable time. He's so busy, always on the go, that it's really difficult to take out some time. So thank you, sir, for being here along with Mrs. Manju Singh. Now I request Professor A.K. Sood to also share some words with us here. Sir.
Our Honorable Minister and most innovative person in dealing with the issues which we have seen in the last 1 year since I have been here, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Mrs. Manju Singh ji, guest of honor, Ms. Dr. Nivruti Rai ji, Dr. Kalai Selvi, very effervescent Director General, and Dr. Ranjana Agrawal, Director NISPER, and all the dignitaries of the dais, and ladies and gentlemen. It's truly a delight for me to be a part of this very, very pleasant function on a very important day when we are celebrating the women power, the Nari Shakti. This year's theme, as said in the media and otherwise, is Digital All, which means innovation and technology for gender equality. Equality and equity are now being interchangeably used. This theme is very crucial as we move towards a more technology advanced society. So basically, as mentioned few minutes back, the theme for any Women Day is to embrace equity. And it's a proud moment to see the accomplished dignitaries on the dais, our women counterparts on the dais and off the dais, and great to hear that CSIR is doing very well in this direction, and I'm sure out of 37, right now you said 6, but it will not remain at 6. We will have more competent women scientists to take the leadership role in future. We all know that in this modern era, technology plays a vital role in transforming women's life, enhancing access to digital tools and enabling their participation in the workforce, education and community engagement. However, as we note that women still face significant barriers in accessing and utilizing resources, creating a further gender divide in digital world that we must address. We must create an inclusive environment that supports women in S&T sector, encouraging women entrepreneurs and technologists to develop their skills and contribute to the industry and society at large. And it's good to see Ms. Rai representing the face of women power in our industry sector, as mentioned by Dr. Kalai Selvi. This morning, I was just while having breakfast, I was reading news about Tim Ida, a very accomplished billionaire women entrepreneur who has made Femtech, that firm which deals at the technology on the health issues related to women. And it is already, I think, $1.8 billion worth in the last 4 years. That tells the success which innovation can bring in, and our women are not behind. I'm sure India has many success stories, and I hope it grows with time. As per our official statistics, you would have noticed we have about 60,000 women directly engaged in R&D activity, which is only about 17% of the total R&D personnel. Now, this Women's Day is a reminder that we must look at our policies and look at the structures and the program to make this big gap, which is only 17%, it should be 50% ideally, and make sure that we have equitable and inclusive opportunities for all. So that's the only way that we can progress in our society. Now, we all need to empower this by personal example. We have many personal examples here on the dais, off the dais, and without unconscious bias. So this unconscious bias we have to examine very carefully, that on the outward one we may not seem to have a bias, but in our mindset we need to see are we truly without bias in our decision making when it comes to gender and other equity? So this is something all of us have to work upon. It's not the job is done. Actually, in my view, the job is less than half done, if I can say that. And we need to go again a long way, not only in S&T, only in few sectors, but all walks of life. We have been doing in our science departments many programs to empower women, DST, CSIR, DBT, many programs, and I hope that in future we'll have more of these. In my own office, in office of PSA, in our modest way, we have been doing a few things in our strategic alliance division, where we have a platform called Manthan, where we do the matchmaking between demand and supply side. And there we have created a special platform for women in STEM, which really highlights women researchers, innovators, and subject matter experts from India in a dedicated section. So this is a small step towards this equity. We will have success stories from project undertaken by women entrepreneurs, and have special programs and initiatives targeted for women in STEM. Now we have a few new upcoming opportunities. I thought it's a good platform to mention that research grants for women in STEM by Biocon and Syngene will be loaded again on this platform, and special feature on women entrepreneurs in upcoming reality show on Indian entrepreneurs, which is funded by Amazon Prime. So this will be the storytelling about the success stories. You all know that earlier we had the coffee table book, She Is, that was covering 75 women in STEAM, and it was released on 12th August 2022 last year. Glad to see that it has done very well. It has been received well. And now we are coming in the next series, She Is, called Water Sheroes, which is done in with other partners, which will feature 21 scientists from India and Canada. And again, it is funded by Red Dot Foundation, Consulate General of Canada, and Dr. Irina Creed, who is a leading Canadian hydrologist. This is just to show that these things will also inspire our young female scientists, entrepreneurs, school children to really see what is in store for them. So we hope this will amplify as we go along. So my last hope is that I hope in my lifetime, because I have still many more years to live, I think, we will have a day when we will not celebrate Women's Day as a special day. We will have gender equity, and this will be a facet of our lives, and not only on a day when we are reminded. It should be a part of us and not really as a special event. Special events are always good to remind ourselves, but I hope we'll reach this 50% participation sooner than later. That time, that would be the true world, an ideal dream, which I have, and I'm sure many of you will have. So I wish all the very best to all of you, and thank Dr. Kalai Selvi for organizing this fabulous function, and with our minister and Mrs. Manju Singh ji and Nivruti Rai ji to be present here. It's a great moment. Let's enjoy the success of our women scientists, entrepreneurs, technologists in all walks of life. Even they are not formally employed, even then they make a huge input to the society. It's not something which you can ignore, and we must acknowledge even those women who are contributing behind the scene. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for these words of wisdom. I'm sure that this will go a long way in boosting the confidence of so many women who are serving the stream of science. And I'm really, really thankful that you have shared so many ideas here also. And now I request Ms. Nivruti Rai, she's Vice President Intel Foundry Services, also Country Head Intel India, to share her special PPT here on, on your theme, which is breaking the barriers and advancing women in science and technology. So let me present to you the PPT that you want to share.
Good morning, everyone. Before I start my presentation, I must tell you a leadership trait that I was flaunted by. Both sides, I have leaders sitting next to me on the dais, and humility is one trait that was very endearing to me. I know Dr. Ajay Sood for some time. I know how humble he is, but our minister, Shri Jitendra Singh Ji, I was very touched by his humility. From planting the few plants that we planted all the way to here, how he was taking care of his wife, Mrs. Manju Singh Ji. I know she was worried, mujhe kya bolna hai, main kya kahungi. And he is saying, worry mat karo. He was taking good care of her. The other thing I must say is, I was asking him, sir, aapke paas betiyan hain? तो ही सेड नहीं बेटियां नहीं हैं पर 2 बेटे हैं. मैंने बोला सर आपके पास बहन है? बोला बहन भी नहीं है पर. मैंने बोला सर आपकी पत्नी इतनी इम्पोर्टेंट है आपके लाइफ में और आपकी माँ. यू नो व्हाट ही सेड? He said yes, both women are amazing in my life, and he said there's no replacement for the mother. And Shri Ajay Sood ji just said about the program She Is. So तभी मैंने सोचा, मैं ये बोलती हूँ, She is, so I am. जो श्री जितेंद्र सिंह जी ने बोला, there's no replacement for the mother. He is because she is. She is, so is he. So with that, Happy Women's Day to one and all. I really feel that Happy Women's Day should be wished to all the men also, because remember, she is, so you are. You have those beautiful daughters in your home. You want the equitable equality for them. You want for your sisters and you want for your wife. So just like I would like to appreciate and celebrate Happy Man's Day, I would also like you to celebrate Women's Day. So Happy Women's Day to all of you. I will begin my presentation, but before I start, can you help me? Before I start, 1942, got it. 1942 is when CSIR was established. 80 years. 80 years, and now we have a woman DG. So huge round of applause. It took a long while, but it did. Der aaye durust aaye, aaya to. So with that, I want to start my presentation. I lost it again. Yeah. Oh, I got it. Thank you. So my topic is breaking barrier and advancing women in science and technology. I will tell you my career in Intel has been for 30 years. 30 साल से मैं सिर्फ Intel में ही काम कर रही हूँ. और एक quick description, ये Intel की pitch नहीं है, but a quick description about Intel is a conglomerate of many companies. Intel does process technology like TSMC. Intel builds chips for desktops and laptops like AMD. And Intel builds servers. Intel builds, IoT solutions. Intel is now also in automotive. तो मुझे ऐसा मौका मिला कि मैं different organizations में different तरीके का काम कर सकूं. From building transistors to optimizing metal layers. आप एक transistor से दूसरा transistor जोड़ते हो. That's what 2 switches do to enable a light. That's what exactly we do in chips. Take two switches or transistors and route through wires. So I've optimized wires, I've optimized transistors, I've actually built circuits. You use USB port, you use HDMI to display your laptop content onto the TV. Those are called input outputs. Analog building blocks, I've done that. I've done CPUs, which is like your brain, a lot of processing, central process, I've done that. And now I'm building platforms, hardware, software, also now in foundry services, my responsibility is to open Intel semiconductor fab for others to leverage. All the fabless design houses can leverage. So my whole introduction is, I have traveled and done many things in Intel, and as a result, I have experienced how to break barriers in science and technology in different kind of sciences. I have been in meetings where I was the only woman. And a lot of times, people use abusive words. मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता था. But what happened? Over the 30 years, I've hardened. I've hardened so much that all the biases that exist, and biases do exist, they just fall through me. मेरे को लगता है ऐसे, there's so much oil on my body now, all the biases fall down before they even reach me. I also want to tell you that Sri Devi was outside, one of our 4 PI directors there. She said similar thing, and it just resonated with me. She said, nothing touches my soul. My soul is guarded inside, very strong. That's what women become. When hardships come on you, you become strong, hardened. It does not matter. Now, honestly, I'll tell you, मैं कई बार भूल जाती हूँ my gender. I go into meetings with the content I have, with the knowledge I have, not the gender I bring. Much later, जब कोई बोलता अरे बड़ी अच्छी साड़ी है, and all of that, then I realize, अरे हाँ, I'm different, I'm a woman. So that's what happens after you break so many barriers, across. A little bit of, I was telling my team, this is a kal, aaj aur kal. Kal kya tha? Technology में, 2001 में only 21% women. Research, and this is, by the way, India statistics. Sorry, I'm moving away from the mic because I am more comfortable walking, but since I don't have a walking mic, I am trying to, yeah, if you can do that, that'll be great. But
handheld mic, please.
But in the meantime, just let me show you the statistic. The reason why I built the slides is because I wanted to show some numbers and show a trend. Technology made there were only 21% women. In 2000, and now 36%, almost double. 2000 से लेकर आज में we have grown by 16% or so, 15%. I'll tell you what did technology do. In 2000, to do a genome sequencing took $50 million, $50 million. मालूम नहीं कितने घर खड़े हो जाएंगे इंडिया में. आज 2022 में genome sequencing $100 में कर सकते हैं. Look at the change that happened in technology. What I am here is to tell you how we can leverage technology to bridge this divide. Oftentimes, there were jobs. अरे ये फैक्ट्री का जॉब है, इसमें बहुत धक्का देना पड़ेगा, 80 किलो का वजन तो चाहिए ही है. There were times that women could not participate in such jobs because, one, I was not 80 kgs. Two, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I like to just be a little more comfortable moving around. Two, I could not push a very heavyweight machine that needed to be pushed in the lab. What technology did? Robotics came into picture. Robotics enables the heavy machinery to be moved around. That creates a little bit of level playing field for women. It does not matter, whether you are 50 kg, 40 kg, or 80 kg. So technology comes to the rescue to build this gender divide. So while we have made a little bit slower progress than genome sequencing, but we are making progress, and I believe technology is the shoulder that women can stand on and create that level playing field for themselves and for others. Research, small growth, but growth, 14 to 90%. And then also, I can't see what the last, don't remember what the last topic is. No, I think the title is board members, perfect. The board members today is was 6%, now 18%. I'm sorry, this screen is not helping me.
No, it has come.
Oh, it's come. Yeah. I think it takes just a little bit of. So boards, 6 to 18%. Now what the goal is, what all of us here are charted to do, grow women in STEM as much as our presence, as much as women like. Technology, some women choose, some women not, but at least a good representation, research and boards. Why not? If half of the world is women, half of the positions in most places should be women. If they choose otherwise, that's a different, but on an average, half representation is ideal. In raising a child, it's half, it's a mother and a father. So I was in London School of Economics and somebody was doing some research and they said, what's the ideal percentage? I said, obviously 50. But ideal doesn't necessarily happen because I may choose not to be in STEM and it's perfectly fine. I may choose to be a homemaker and that's perfectly fine. But I should not be not having an opportunity to do things which I want to. So this is the Kalaj or Kal. I really think we learn from the past, we act in the present to prepare for the future. And that's what the onus is on all of us. I want to go through the different stages of life me as a woman and a lot of you as a woman have gone through. And I have some ideas. And sir, some of the ideas I definitely want to share in front of you. The first one, and I will do that within Intel. By the way, last year I had 35% women. Did I hire 50? No, but 35% of the hiring was women only. Now what happens in hiring? You know, there are a lot of people, they say, oh, इस लड़की को हायर करा, कल को इसकी शादी हो जाएगी, 7 महीने का ब्रेक लेगी, उसके बाद 2 साल बाद उसका बेबी होगा, वो 1 साल के लिए ऑफ चली जाएगी, तो लड़कियों को तो लाओ मत, ये बड़ा क्रिटिकल रोल है. That's not fair. The intention of marriage is for both people, the intention of children is for both people, and therefore it's both party who's involved. So here is a thought. What I'm working with my HR team is, till the final stage of interview, can we get rid of the he, she, her, him, name or anything? Nothing. Nobody should know till you actually have to hear or see that person. That person should be given an entry for a chance regardless of the gender, age, language, whatever. There's not just diversity in gender. I have seen biases with language. I understand birds of a feather flock together. मैं हिंदी में बात करती हूँ तो मुझे बड़ा comfortable लगता है किसी से हिंदी में बोलने में. But that should not modify my judgment on somebody's competency. So at least at the entry of opportunity, can we get rid of those, gender asks, name asks? Because people try to say, अच्छा इसका नाम ये है तो ये ज़रूर लड़की होगी. So let's get rid of that and get, somebody to get an opportunity to try best for this role. When the new people come as a fresher, I'm going to talk through the journey of, the different milestones of our life. Fresher, Bangalore में आना है, कहाँ पे रहना है, safety चाहिए, लड़की है, all of that. What can we do to address that? Because all of these factors will go into defining the cull that we want, which is 50% opportunity for women. What can we do there? Early career. Can that person get a little break? Can that person come back from the maternity leave and not be shortchanged? What can we do? And every time we think like this, think of your daughter, your sister, your mother, all of them, because all of this will help all the beautiful, wonderful women in your life. Then let me talk about promotions. I'll tell you, I went through this. Oh, Nivriti took maternity leave, but she's good. So let's prorate her. Does prorate happen? Great. Prorate means I was performing at this rate, but I took 4 months break and many people got more chance, just sheer time. And as a result, their contribution was more. So what should we do? We should prorate. Continue that same trend that if Nivriti was here for the last 3-4 months that she took off due to maternity leave, she would reach here. And look, she's ready for promotion. So those are some of the thinking changes. Change come in 3 ways. Change yourself. I'll tell you, oftentimes, and I'm not a stereotypical woman, especially now. 30 years ago, oh, I was a perfectly stereotypical woman. I would not even be able to speak loudly. I would not be able to call my effort as mine because मेरी माँ ने बोला, अपनी तारीफ खुद मत करो, दूसरे करेंगे तुम्हारी तारीफ. तो मैंने उसको एकदम दिल में बैठा लिया. I would never be able to say, I did this. In Intel, I would say, we did this. So, lot of learning, but 30 years later, after Intel experience, I am not the stereotypical, what people think women are. So, I have to change myself. I have to be able to share my ideas, even if it's not 200% accurate. I've seen my son, even if he thinks a little bit idea is good, he will just tell everyone as if it was such an amazing idea. And my daughter will do this much homework before she comes up with an idea. Daddy, I have an idea for this startup. And my son would have like 100 ideas by then and very little amount of work, but both are valuable in different ways. So we have to change ourselves. We have our colleagues and partners to change, give us, the respect we deserve. And we as leaders here in the room, you are amazing 37 lab leaders with your spouses. What can we do as an environment to encourage such equality, not just for women, but for everyone? I'll tell you, I have seen biases amongst men. There was a guy talking to me with very fancy style of goatee, he had multiple curves. And the other guy says, मेरे पास वक्त नहीं है ऐसी दाढ़ी बनाने का, मैं तो बहुत बिजी हूँ. उसने कैसे सोचा इस आदमी के पास वक्त है इतना सारा? उसकी चॉइस है, उसको मन है कि ऐसी मैं दाढ़ी बनाऊं. So biases are there at every level. We have to just respect differences of choices, likes, gender, language, whatever. So environment, you and me all have to change to drive this. In terms of leadership, I really think we have to support women in board positions, such small board positions. And when I was doing one more analysis, so you saw 6 and 18%. If you remove the board women who are there because of the family business, the independent directors are even less. Let me go to the retirement age. Once people retire, there is assumption, this woman will, become a grandma. But the men can have an advisory role, a consulting. Break that. I can be an amazing independent director. You can be an amazing, all of you can be. The difference is how we look, the difference is in how we speak, and many things. But remember, technology is coming to the rescue. The natural shortfall that I have for a factory job, technology has come to my rescue. So what all can we do in terms of technical innovation? I think I may be running out of time, but one very quick comment. What do we need to do now? Amazing 37 labs. And by the way, Kalai Selvichi, my engagement with CSIR started 35 years ago. You know how? I was in school and there was a science scholarship. And I got 5,000 rupees per year, which is nothing now. But back then, it was better than diamonds for me because it came with a certificate. And it said, how good you are in science and technology. And that was when the journey towards becoming an engineer for me started. So my relationship with CSIR is so old, and it has helped me become who I am. So I'm going to talk about this slide, which I don't see it. Why now? Why it is important to work together now, break those biases. The world will see 25% additional GDP if women came to the workforce with equity. And that 25% translates into quality of life of everybody, humanity. And why is the time now? Ajay Suji, you had heard, I had shared this thought. You know, most amount of inventions, when did they come? During tough times, like World War. I'll tell you, Turing, AI scientist, he broke the machine Enigma, the German machine, during World War. Heidi Lamar came up with what is called frequency hopping. You know, if I'm sending my information there, एक frequency पे अगर जाएगी बीच में कोई intercept कर लेगा सारा data मिल जाएगा. What she did is called frequency hopping or spread spectrum. So एक part of the data is frequency से जा रहा है, दूसरा इधर से जा रहा है, तीसरा इधर से जा रहा है. So even if somebody breaks, it's very difficult to break all of it to get all of the information. World War II. Similarly, DARPA, military organization, funded World Wide Web. World Wide Web was funded so long ago, but industry enabled scale where it translates into value for us, and how? Through convergence of technology. Aaj, compute is so cheap, therefore we can do all of this. So, मुश्किलों में invention होता है. आवश्यकता ही आविष्कार की जननी है. Necessity is the mother of invention. Mother of invention. She is, so I am. So, my point is, the world is not going through a war per se, but very challenging moments. Natural calamity with COVID. What happened? The world came together. India's best innovation came together. Look at the number of people we have and how many 90+% people are vaccinated with a vaccine that I trust more. So, things like natural calamity, things like, you know, Ukraine-Russia war, challenges with geopolitics. Time is now to build those innovations and for the women to come forward and get that environment, psychologically safe environment, so they can thrive. Lastly, I'm just going to finish with some mantras that I have built over the last 30 years of my Intel career. For the young people, start with what you are good at. There are many things, you know, when I was in school, I was good in math. I was actually really good in Hindi. I knew these were the subjects I was good in. So maybe start a career in something that you're good at. But between multiple subjects, there may be one subject you absolutely love. Find a career which you absolutely love doing. So find your talents, but identify your passion. Because things that you do with passion don't understand the passage of time. आप काम करते रहेंगे, आपको लगेगा काम नहीं, ये तो मजा था. That's what you feel. The third thing is, apply your talent and your passion to a place which recognizes that, such that you can create value. So from talent to passion to create value. One thing, never give up. You know, there is an analysis that says so often people give up on a research, people give up on a startup just when it would have, you know, flourished or been successful. Don't give up. To me, मैं अपने आप को पानी की तरह समझती हूँ. कितना भी आप पानी पत्थर पर मारते रहे, एक दिन वो अपना रास्ता बना ही लेगा. That is the persistence that I feel has helped me. Lastly, ये जो नेटवर्क है, इसको ज़रूर इस्तेमाल करिए. They say women build deeper networks, men build wider networks. Both are valuable. And how you build network is by giving credit. एक आदमी ने आपकी थोड़ी सी भी मदद करी है, आप बोले बहुत शुक्रिया, मेरा तो बहुत मदद हुआ आपके काम से. अगली बार वो आपको दुगनी मदद करेगा, उसके बाद आपको 10 गुनी मदद करेगा, उसके बाद आपकी एक्सटेंडेड टीम बन जाएगी. So build and nurture network, and I'll tell you the easiest way is through giving credit and in front of people which matters to them. I believe in all of them, and that has been some of the learnings that through breaking the barriers in the scientific industry, in a company which is so hardcore male, have survived, thrived, and enjoying, and wanted to share with you. Thank you very much.
And also thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing all those valuable points that you shared. You've talked about the gender role. आपने कहा कि मैं भूल जाती हूँ कि मैं किस gender की हूँ. I think that's a point that we have to take home also. So many of these points that Ms. Nivruti Rai has shared, I think, are really points that we can take home also. She's talked about solidarity and support, and I think we all believe in that, and that's where women are rising and shining. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing those insights. और अब मौका है बहुत सारी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ों का. हमने सोचा आज कि हम जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस है उसको कुछ इस तरह से मनाएं जिसमें सबकी सहभागिता हो. कई बार इवेंट्स होते हैं, प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं, तो उसमें हम हिस्सा तो लेते हैं, हमारे परिवार वाले छूट जाते हैं, हमारे स्पाउसेस छूट जाते हैं, हमारे परिवार के कुछ और लोग शायद वो नहीं देख पाते या शामिल नहीं हो पाते. तो इसलिए CSIR ने सोचा कि आज हम सभी को सहभागी बनाएं और जो भी लोग यहाँ काम करते हैं हम उनके साथ उनके स्पाउसेस को भी बुलाएं. So some of the dignitaries are present here. We welcome them, but we also welcome their spouses, as is really evident that Mrs. Manju Singh ji is here. So along with Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. तो हम इसको आगे बढ़ाते हैं और फेलिसिटेशन की प्रक्रिया को शुरू करते हुए सबसे पहले मैं निवेदन करूंगी श्रीमती मंजू सिंह जी से, ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी से और प्रोफेसर AK सूद जी से कि वो यहाँ मंच के आगे आएँ, क्योंकि अब हम अभिनंदन की प्रक्रिया को जो दूसरे स्पाउसेज आए हैं और डायरेक्टर्स आए हैं उसकी प्रक्रिया को शुरू करेंगे. सर मैं चाहूँगी कि यहाँ आगे आकर और मंजू जी, और मैं अब कुछ लोगों के नाम यहाँ बुलाती जाऊँगी जो मंच पे आएंगे और उनका अभिनंदन किया जाएगा. आप सभी सम्मानित हैं और आपके साथ साथ जो आपके इस पार्टनर्स इन प्रोग्रेस है वो हमारे साथ हैं. Come all of you, you're welcome. हमारे साइंस विभागों के सचिव हमारे साथ हैं, तो सबसे पहला नाम जो हम बुलाना चाहेंगे वो डॉक्टर M. रविचंद्रन का है, जो सेक्रेटरी MOES हैं मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्थ साइंसेज में. सर, आप और आपके साथ आपकी पत्नी दोनों को हम यहाँ इनवाइट करना चाहेंगे स्टेज पे अभिनंदन के लिए. डॉक्टर M. रविचंद्रन और उनके साथ उनकी श्रीमती ईश्वरी देवी जी, निवेदिता जी, please welcome. We welcome you onto the stage, and we are so privileged that today all of you are here, and it's a collective feeling for all of us. तो मंच पर अभिनंदन न सिर्फ उनका जो हमें हमेशा दिखाई देते हैं, पर शायद उनका भी जो दिखाई तो नहीं देते हैं लेकिन प्रेरणा देते रहते हैं. शॉल हमने महिलाओं के लिए रखा है और मोमेंटो हमने पुरुषों के लिए रखा है. निवेदिता जी के लिए ये शॉल, और हम सबके लिए एक बहुत ही अनूठा लेकिन बहुत ही खुशी का ये मौका है. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया और बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप सबको. और अब मैं बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर राजेश गोखले जी को, जो सेक्रेटरी DBT गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैं. मिसेस असीमा राजेश जी उनके साथ हैं. आप दोनों को मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी, आपका स्वागत करना चाहूँगी और अभिनंदन आप सबका. और खुशी की बात यह है कि आज असीमा जी भी हमारे साथ हैं. राजेश गोखले जी को तो हम देखते रहते हैं, पर उनका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. दोनों का अभिनंदन. डॉक्टर राजेश गोखले और असीमा जी. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको डॉक्टर राजेश गोखले और असीमा जी. और अब बारी है मैडम की. मैडम N. कलाई सेल्वी जी तो यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं, लेकिन श्रीकांत जी भी यहाँ पर मौजूद नहीं, हम उनको ज़रूर बुलाना चाहेंगे. Shrikant ji, the man behind the woman, as they say. So generally they say the woman behind the man's success, but we know Shrikant ji is here. आप सबका अभिनंदन और बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं CSIR की तरफ से. और अभी ये प्रक्रिया ख़त्म नहीं हुई है, अभी सिलसिला जारी रहेगा. अब हम कुछ ऐसे डायरेक्टर्स को बुलाएंगे यहाँ पर जो CSIR लैब में विमेन डायरेक्टर्स हैं. एक करके मैं उनका नाम यहाँ पर बुलाती जा रही हूँ. हमारे साथ मंच पर डॉक्टर रंजना अग्रवाल, डायरेक्टर CSIR निस्पर मौजूद हैं. हम उनके साथ उनके स्पाउस प्रोफेसर दिनेश कुमार जी को यहाँ मंच पर बुलाना चाहेंगे. प्रोफेसर दिनेश कुमार जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत. बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका और बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप दोनों को ही. डॉक्टर रंजना अग्रवाल, प्रोफेसर दिनेश कुमार. और अब मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर सुमन कुमार मिश्रा, डायरेक्टर CSIR CSIR कोलकाता से, और उनके साथ उनके स्पाउस. बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका, आप दोनों का मंच पर स्वागत है. डॉक्टर सुमन कुमार मिश्रा, और साथ में वो जो पीछे होते हैं हमें दिखाई नहीं देते पर हमेशा उनका साथ देते रहते हैं. हाँ, और अब डॉक्टर श्रीदेवी अन्नपूर्णा सिंह जी को मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी, डायरेक्टर CSIR CFTRI मैसूरू. उनके साथ उनके पति भी यहाँ मौजूद हैं. I welcome two of you on the stage. और डॉक्टर राधा रंगराजन की बारी है. इसके बाद मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी. अभी नहीं, इस टाइम. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप सबको. मैं मंच पर अब बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर राधा रंगराजन, डायरेक्टर CSIR CDRI लखनऊ को, साथ में उनके स्पाउस. अच्छा नहीं है. ओके, डॉक्टर राधा रंगराजन आई हैं, उनका स्वागत करते हैं. बहुत अभिनंदन और बहुत शुभकामनाएं. बुलाना चाहेंगे अब हम स्टेज पर डॉक्टर श्रीदेवी जेट को, हेड हैं CSIR 4PI बेंगलुरु. आपके साथ आपके स्पाउस मौजूद हैं यहाँ. डॉक्टर श्रीदेवी, बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत स्वागत. I'm sure this interaction is valuable. और अब हम बुलाना चाहेंगे उन विमेन हेड्स को जो CSIR हेडक्वार्टर्स में हैं, और उनको एक एक कर मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी. डॉक्टर विश्व रंजनी जे सतीगानी जी, हेड CSIR TKDL से. ओहो, तो बुलाना पड़ेगा। एक नाम जो हमें फिर से मंच पर बुलाना होगा वुमेन डायरेक्टर्स में, वो डॉक्टर एन आनंदवेली, डायरेक्टर CSIR SCRC चेन्नई का है। प्लीज़ आप मंच पर आएँ मैम, आपको बहुत शुभकामनाएं, आपका अभिनंदन। और अब मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर विभा मल्होत्रा साहनी जी को, हेड CSIR TMD एंड CSIR IPU। आपके साथ आपके स्पाउस भी मौजूद हैं। बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत स्वागत। अच्छा, बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका विभा जी। और अब जल्दी जल्दी हम ये फेलिसिटेशन की प्रक्रिया ख़त्म करें। और अब मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर गीता वानी रायसम, हेड CSIR HRDG को मंच पर। बहुत बहुत स्वागत और शुभकामनाएं गीता मैम। और ये शॉल से गीता मैम का स्वागत। और अब मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर सरला बालाचंद्रन, हेड CSIR RAB। सरला जी, डॉक्टर सरला बालाचंद्रन, बहुत बहुत स्वागत, बहुत शुभकामनाएं। मंजू सिंह जी और डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी उनके बीच। और मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर पूर्णिमा रूपल जी को, जो हेड हैं CSIR SCDD की, जो हमारे साथ लगातार इस कार्यक्रम के आयोजन में जुड़ी रही हैं। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको पूर्णिमा जी, बहुत स्वागत। और अब मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर रमा स्वामी बंसल, हेड CSIR ISTAD को। बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका, बहुत अभिनंदन, शुभकामनाएं। और अब मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी मिसेस डॉली चौधरी, हेड CSIR ITD को। मिसेस डॉली चौधरी, बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका, बहुत शुभकामनाएं। ये सिर्फ तस्वीरें नहीं है, ये वो पल हैं जिन्हें हम सब संजो कर रखना चाहेंगे, और बहुत ही खूबसूरत। एंड वी विश एवरीवन ऑल द वेरी वेरी बेस्ट। तो अब बारी है उनकी, जो मेन हैं यहाँ पर तो उनको भी फेलिसिटेट करना है हमें, तो उनको भी एक एक कर कर मंच पे हम बुलाते हैं अब. या विल नॉट लिविंग यू हियर, वी कॉलिंग यू. सो मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर अंजन रे जी को. आप डायरेक्टर हैं CSIR IIP देहरादून के. आपके साथ आपकी स्पाउस. अच्छा, बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका सर. शुभकामनाएं डॉक्टर अंजन रे. और अब मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी प्रोफेसर सुनील कुमार सिंह जी को. आप डायरेक्टर हैं CSIR NIO गोवा से. बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका. और उनके साथ उनकी किसको, अच्छा, बहुत बहुत स्वागत, शुभकामनाएं आपको. आप सबका यहाँ आना हमें बहुत मजबूती देता है और ये एक संदेश भी है कि हम सबको साथ आगे चलना है. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको. और अब मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर अरुण बंदोपाध्याय जी को, डायरेक्टर CSIR ISB कोलकाता से. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत डॉक्टर अरुण बंदोपाध्याय जी. कोलकाता से आप यहाँ आए, बहुत बहुत स्वागत, शुभकामनाएं. और ऐसे ही आप सब हमारा साथ देते रहिए. प्रोफेसर प्रदीप कुमार रामचर्या जी यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं, डायरेक्टर CSIR CBRI रुड़की से आप आए हैं. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, स्वागत आपका मंच पर. अच्छा, he has come with his mother also, and what a great moment. Big round of applause for all these ladies. क्योंकि कहते हैं कि माँ का आशीर्वाद, माँ का आपके सर पे हाथ आपको बहुत सबलता देता है और आपको आगे बढ़ाने में जो हाथ है वो आपको बहुत दूर तक आपका साथ देता है. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. एक मिनट. चंदन इनको बुलाना है. चलते हैं. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको. सपत्निक भी और माताजी आपका यहाँ आने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. और अब मैं बुलाना चाहूँगी मंच पर प्रोफेसर वेणुगोपाल अचंता जी को, डायरेक्टर CSIR NPL से आप हैं. बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको प्रोफेसर वेणुगोपाल अचंता जी. मैम आज आप अभिनंदन कर रही हैं, फिर काम भी कल से शुरू। चलिए, बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप सभी का और सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत। और अब मैं बुलाना चाहूँगी प्रोफेसर अरविंद कुमार मिश्रा, डायरेक्टर CSIR CIMFR धनबाद से। मंच पर आपका स्वागत है अरविंद कुमार मिश्रा जी। आपके साथ आपकी पत्नी भी साथ में है। बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका मैम। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप सभी को। चंदन लगाने को बोला शंभू जी ने दिया है करके टीम से। चंदन कैसे लगाएंगे? और अगला नाम है डॉक्टर नरेश चंद्र मुर्मू जी का, डायरेक्टर CSIR CMERI दुर्गापुर से। मैं उनको बुलाना चाहूँगी मंच पर। आपके साथ आपकी पत्नी भी हैं। बहुत स्वागत, बहुत शुभकामनाएं। अब इस सिलसिले को ज़रा जल्दी जल्दी आगे बढ़ाते हैं। अगला नाम है, अब जो जिनको मंच पे बुलाऊंगी वो हैं श्री महेंद्र कुमार गुप्ता जी। आप JS एडमिन है CSIR में, बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट पोर्टफोलियो। श्री महेंद्र कुमार गुप्ता जी आ गए हैं मंच पर। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आपको नरेश चंद्र मुर्मू जी सपत्नीक। और अभी महेंद्र कुमार गुप्ता जी आप आ गए हैं मंच पर, आपका स्वागत है। मुझे लगता है अब शिकायतें घर में थोड़ी तक कम तो ज़रूर हो जाएंगी, क्योंकि सब साथ साथ यहाँ हैं मौजूद। बहुत बहुत स्वागत और बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप सभी को। डॉक्टर RK सिन्हा को मैं बुलाना चाहूँगी, हेड CSIR HRDC को मंच पर। और आपके साथ आपकी पत्नी मौजूद हैं। बहुत शुभकामनाएं, स्वागत आपका। और डॉक्टर RP सिंह को बुलाना चाहूँगी, हेड CSIR IMD को। डॉक्टर RP सिंह जी यहाँ हैं? ओके। और अब मैं बुलाना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर S सत्यनारायणन, हेड CSIR CPD को मंच पर। और इसके बाद मंच पर डॉक्टर अवनीश श्रीवास्तव, डायरेक्टर एम्प्री भोपाल को बुलाना चाहूँगी मंच पर। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत, आप सभी को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। ये सारी तस्वीरें, ये सारी मेलजोल, ये न सिर्फ आज के लिए है, मुझे लगता है आने वाले समय के लिए एक बहुत मजबूत स्तंभ बनकर सामने आएगी, क्योंकि ये मेलजोल कहीं ना कहीं आगे का रास्ता भी दिखाती है। और अब मैं बुलाना चाहूँगी मंच पर जी महेश जी को, जो हेड है CSIR DGED के। मंच पर आपका स्वागत है। जी महेश जी, आपका स्वागत है और आपके साथ आपकी पत्नी है। बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका, बहुत शुभकामनाएं। और अब मैं मंच पर बुलाना चाहूँगी एक ऐसे व्यक्ति को जो हम सबके बीच तो रहते हैं और साथ साथ भी रहते हैं, लेकिन मंच पर उनको खास हम बुलाना चाहेंगे। प्रशांत झा जी को आपको हम यहाँ बुलाना चाहेंगे और प्लीज़ आप आइए, क्योंकि आप एक वेल विशर हैं CSIR के, तो हम आज आपका भी अभिनंदन करना चाहेंगे। साथ ही रिक्वेस्ट भी करना चाहेंगे कि आगे भी साथ ऐसे ही देते रहें आप। I think when we are rewarding men, we are also expecting that they are going to really support us in all the times to come. But congratulations and all the best wishes. और अब बारी है, आप अपना मंच ले सकते सीट से। आरपी सिंह का मैंने नाम बुलाया है, पर यू वांट टू ऐड अ नेम? अच्छा, हाँ, अच्छा, मेंशन कर देते हैं।
बुला लीजिएगा, जैसे उनकी बेटी को बुलाया था तो उनकी बेटी को
तो अभी बुलाना है ना?
अभी फेलिसिटेशन इनको करेंगे ना, इनको जो गिफ्ट देंगे।
अच्छा, उसी समय बुलाना है। आई डिडंट सी हिम। और अब उस पल का इंतज़ार जो हम सबको है। कई बार हमने इनको सुना है, लेकिन हर बार हम इनको सुनना चाहते हैं और हर बार कुछ नया, कुछ अच्छा हमें मिल जाता है, जो हम न सिर्फ सुनते हैं बल्कि हम नोट भी करते हैं अपनी ज़िंदगी के लिए। मैं बात कर रही हूँ हमारे मुख्य अतिथि डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी का। इनकी प्रोफाइल जब हम पढ़ते हैं तो लंबी होती है, क्योंकि इतने सारे असाइनमेंट्स, इतने पोर्टफोलियोज़ इनके पास हैं। MOS PMO, MOS पर्सनल पब्लिक ग्रीवांसेस पेंशन, MOS इंडिपेंडेंट चार्ज साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्थ साइंसेज, MOS एटॉमिक एनर्जी एंड स्पेस। बट इसके अलावा सर एक डायबिटोलॉजिस्ट रहे हैं, एक डॉक्टर जिनकी बहुत रुचि है साइंस के सब्जेक्ट्स में, विषयों में। बहुत कुछ लिखते हैं, बहुत कुछ पढ़ते हैं और अपना पूरा समय, अगर मैं थोड़ा और बोलूँ तो वो भी इनका जाता है इन सब विचारों में। और ट्रैवल करते रहते हैं काम के दौरान ज़्यादा, लेकिन उस बीच में भी जैसा हमने देखा है ये पढ़ने लिखने का काम जारी रहता है। तो बहुत ही रुचि है ज़िंदगी से संबंधित विषयों में। और अपनी बात जब भी कहते हैं अपने स्पीच में डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह, तो कहीं ना कहीं कुछ नया हम सबको मिल जाता है। लेकिन इससे पहले कि मैं उनको मंच पर बुलाऊं, क्यों ना हम बात करें लॉन्च की, जो एक बहुत ही यूनिक लॉन्च यहाँ पर हो रहा है, और वो है CSIR एस्पायर पोर्टल का लॉन्च। और हम निवेदन करेंगे मुख्य अतिथि माननीय डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी से कि वो इसका लॉन्च हमारे सबके लिए करें। CSIR एस्पायर, this is a unique portal that we are starting to promote women in science and specially meant for them. तो रिसर्च ग्रांट जिसकी बात बहुत हो रही है विमेन साइंटिस्ट के लिए, उसके लिहाज से ये पोर्टल बहुत ही उपयोगी साबित होगा। और अब मैं निवेदन करूंगी, व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज 24/7 मिनिस्टर सर, यू ऑलवेज ऑन द गो। आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू शेयर more words of insight, because always you are adding to new words and words which are so useful for all of us. Thank you, sir, for being here, and I invite you to share some words with us.
Thank you, Rakhi ji, for your kind words of introduction. I'm not sure whether I deserve that, but I like to believe what she said. So particularly on International Women's Day, kind words coming from a woman, I think is a good omen. Seated on the dais are ever exuberant and vibrant Director General Dr. Kalai Selvi, Guest of Honor Nivruti, Principal Scientific Advisor and an eminent teacher of science, Professor Sood, another eminent scientist and Director NISPER, Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, directors of different institutes, spouses, members of the scientific fraternity, our colleagues, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Dr. Ravi Chandran, and the members of the scientific fraternity. I think my first thought when I was sitting over here is that while the whole world is celebrating International Women's Day today, it assumes a special celebration for us over here in the CSIR family. Also because, as Nivruti mentioned, that we had to wait 80 years for a woman Director General. And I don't know, I think it was providential, it was destined, because 80 years back, the first laboratory of the CSIR which started, which Nivruti referred to, was in Jammu. So she had to wait for a minister for Jammu to give her a break. But on a serious note, I think I must, and all of us must profusely thank Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, who's been always in the forefront, not only providing a level playing field, but making sure that there is no disadvantage on account of gender, as also on other accounts. If you recall, it was he who for the first time facilitated a Republic Day parade to be led by women cadets. It was he who allowed female students into a sainik school. It was he who allowed women to join combat operations in the forces. And it's again he with whose signature, as President of CSIR, we have Dr. Kalai Selvi sitting beside us. The guest of honor, Ms. Nivruti, all of us know her very well. She's not only a part of the CSIR extended family, but I may say so, she's one of the bright jewels in the armamentarium of India, which is writing the growth story of 21st century India. And both these illustrious women have much in common between them. Both of them are self-made, both of them are working on their own terms and conditions, as she was mentioning right now, that she identifies herself only as a woman only when the sari is pointed out. So their own terms and conditions being followed very aggressively and rightly so. And both have carved a niche for themselves which would be a cause of envy to any man worth his salt. So I think that's enough of a compliment that you are both objects of envy to the men folk. Because leave the gender aside, which man from this genre would not like to sit in the chair that Kalai Selvi is sitting? And which man would not be wishing to be celebrated as Nivruti is being today? So I think the celebration itself this morning has inadvertently risen us above the gender. And this has also, I see in this also the vindication of a point that I've been making for quite some time now on every other forum, that women in India today are gradually graduating from the participatory level to the leadership level. Now, when we keep talking of increasing participation of women or pushing participation further or enhancing participation, we are actually talking from the male mindset of yesterday and also from the unspoken wish not to let her lead. But the truth is otherwise. The fact is otherwise. She's already taken over. When I was in Northeast, I would say if you go back to our metric days, there was used to be a common popular essay, women emancipation, which lost meaning when I went to Northeast because women working more than men. And I said, a new concept is here. You have house husbands there, not housewives. And now in a pan-India global milieu, we find women have already taken over leadership roles. It is for us men folk to accept them as leaders and to walk behind them. And the more we do so, the less we will keep talking about their participation. In fact, now they are sitting at the helm, deciding what would be our participation. A woman in the form of Kalai Selvi writes the destiny of many men folk. She is an empress. She is an empress commanding 37 big institutes spread all across the country. And many more sub-institutes. So she is privileged to decide how much would be the participation of men. And I hope she would be fair enough, because the manner I saw, women after women as directors, the entire scenario has undergone a change in the last few years, not necessarily after she took over. And thank you, Kalai Selvi, for also introducing us to the spouses of our colleagues and spouses to spouses. And also making us realize how many of us are shy of coming with spouses. Because you've seen us without spouses. I hope you don't go home and start discussing this. That was what bothering my mind. But nevertheless, I must thank you for getting my spouse here, at least briefly, because we hardly are together in the public programs, and otherwise too. Because both of us are so hard-pressed in our respective routines, we don't even travel together. In fact, about a couple of years back, I got down at an airport, and I was told that she had just got down before me. And even today, soon after this function, we'll be traveling in the opposite directions. She's taking a flight to Jammu, and I'm taking a flight to Chennai. So, thank you for ensuring this brief union. And therefore, but at the same time, I think all of us would also realize how much of ecosystem effect is there when all of us are together. And I think on the occasion of International Women's Day, like me, for many others also, who may be less or more embarrassed being seated next to their spouses, it's also an occasion to publicly give thanksgiving to a spouse who has demonstrated extraordinary patience. Extraordinary patience to put up with me for so many years, though I have never been a perfect husband material. And over the years, also Thanksgiving, and I'm saying this on behalf of many of you, you would like to say that to your spouses. She's been remarkably forgiving and also forgetting many acts of omission and commission. And even though she might have forgotten, I think over the years I have learned to take her word very seriously, because what happens as the years grow, the spouse develops an occult power of intuition. आप झूठ बाल के भी जाएं कि रात को ओवर टाइम दफ्तर लगा था, तो लाहौर में एक वो कविता है हमारे उर्दू शायर पाकिस्तान के, राती केड़े दफ्तर लग दे. So it's very sometimes scary, but that remarkable intuition, which is also sometimes very useful positively, because it comes as a forewarning also. The spouse can warn you where to tread steadily, softly, and to beware of. And therefore, it's only because of Kalai Selvi that International Women's Day in this form and format is being organized. I think again for the first time in the history of CSIR in 80 years, or even for that matter, in any of the government departments. But overall, when we talk in the context of India and when we talk of the success story of the women folk and tend to celebrate them, I think the bottom line is that India's greatest strength is the most unspoken, unsung success story, that of a homemaker woman. Because while an individual woman writes an individual woman's story, the homemaker woman is writing more than one success story. The success story of her spouse, of her son, daughter, brothers, sisters. But she's not celebrated, but she's the soul behind. It's just like a film director of a popular movie. The script writer is not often known of. We don't even read in the captions who was the script writer. The celebrity is the one who appears on the screen with the hero or heroine. And in fact, even in the movies, it used to happen for quite some time. I don't know whether some of you know, but as Raki said, there's some nagging habit of picking up anecdotes. When the gramophone started, HMV, they didn't give the name of the singer, the playback singer. The first time when a song became a hit from the film Mahal, Aayega Aane Wala, HMV office was flooded with letters from all over India. They said, we want to know the name of the singer. Because Lata Mangeshkar had just appeared on the scene, nobody knew her. And on the gramophone record, they would write the name of the heroine who had enacted the song in the movie, and the heroine happened to be Kamini, the character played by Madhubala. So what I'm saying is, some of the success stories which actually hit the ceiling or break the ceiling, they themselves force people to actually name the homemaker. A movie which does extraordinarily well is Mother India or Jaagte Raho. You tend to then ask, bhai, tha kaun piche? So here, India is a country, is a civilization known for women who may not come to the forefront, but the front pulls them up to the front. And I think that's our inherent strength. Now, as far as the science and technology is entrepreneurs, we have already engaged women in several CSIR activities. Some of the success stories in the floriculture mission, like Reena Arvind Roy from Maharashtra, Neeru Tai from Bandya, and of course the Aroma mission from Jammu and Kashmir, which has now gone over to Uttarakhand, also engaging several self-help groups. I'm not going into detail of that, but, and of course the Jigyasa program, which is launched on the International Day of Women for the student scientists, because that is where I think we are actually aiming at to catch them young, particularly before they cross class 10 or class 12, because then the parents come in. And the first corrupting influence is from the parent. They start narrating to the child all sorts of fancy names, Mukherjee Nagar, Akash, this, that, and they kill the aptitude. So we have started mentorship programs, which we are also going to extend to the women talent, the potential women brains. And there we would also, because I've always believed in a wider integration, so it's not going to be confined only to the CSIR, we can also solicit the support of the like-minded stakeholders or partners like Nivruti and others for identifying the potential and mentoring it. Talashna bhi or tarashna bhi, before we lose out to them, because we have a number of startup programs, for example, under Prime Minister Modi, but those who we offer support may not be the best. Usually we are offering support to those who are reaching out to us. So how to reach out to those who have not reached out to us, but who may be more deserving, also more sustainable. And therefore, if you take as a whole, because many of us, or most of us, are also part of the government's sanctuaries, and as was being referred to by earlier speakers also, in the last 7-8 years, there have been a number of enabling reforms announced by Prime Minister Modi. And since I'm also dealing with DOPT, ARPG, and so 7-8 departments, so I had the opportunity to be a part of that. For example, we extended the child care leave. We extended the maternity leave. We also started, we did away with many of the earlier reforms and introduced new ones. Like, for example, child care leave or post-maternity leave, even in case of women who had given birth to a stillbirth, which was not there because, so a whole lot of these reforms in relation to women have been sought to be brought with a very great degree of sensitivity. Very recently, DOPT, we passed a new circular for special leave in case of complaint of the sexual harassment, which may or may not have happened, proves or disproves, but during that period, she would be allowed to keep herself away from the place of work for a number of reasons. She might be feeling embarrassed being so or awkward being there. And in the pensions, which is also related to me, the divorced daughters, the separated daughters were not entitled to family pension. We did away with that. Because I'm saying so because it also pertains to all the government functionaries sitting over here. Because the condition was that she had to get a judgment from the court, and we know some of the VVIPs waiting for decades together, not being able to get a court judgment. So we did away with that also. So a number of such reforms have already happened, and therefore, I think what is now that we, between this International Women's Day and the next, the focus would be, as the Honorable Prime Minister has been repeatedly reiterating, the next 25 years or the Amrit Kal. And therefore, what do we do in this Amrit Kal? I think the focus has to be not only on the scientists, also on the young scientists, the young brains, because I am very sure that if we reach the pedestal that we have and we say for ourselves after 25 years, it will be on the basis of the scientific prowess. And the value addition to Indian economy is going to be through our scientific and technological capabilities. And therefore, the focus, as we have sought to do also in the other departments that I'm associated with, on the age group of 30s and 40s. Because who would have the opportunity to put in the best of their expertise, to best of their energy, when India celebrates its century in 2047. Many of us may be there, may not be there. Of course, Professor Sood has predicted he's going to be there. But don't go by, because you know, all types of colors are available in the market. So don't go by the color that we wear. But yes, we are on the odd side. But we would have the, and I think that is what we have to aspire for, yearn for, that at the end of the day, we have the satisfaction of having contributed to the capacity building of that generation, which is going to be there, playing an active role as the architects. And for that, and from that point of view, I think this is one of the best times happening for India, and also best times happening for CSIR, and an opportunity for Dr. Kalai Selvi also to lay the foundation for the next 2 decades. So that when they look back, I'm sure, we celebrated 80 years, there will be people around also to celebrate 100 years of CSIR. So when they look back to this era, under this DG, when we actually prepared a roadmap. And for that, we have already started making a vision document, Vision 2047 in the DOPT. I had in mind that we could integrate the science departments as well, because governance is also technology driven. And technology also has governance of component. And I have requested the capacity building commission to first decide the indices of 2047, because unfortunately, fortunately, and I think that's a part of the human tendency, what is happening is that we are looking at 2047 through the prism of 2023. It's not easy to visualize what the things would be like then. How much would be the role of a scientist? How much would have been the AI taken over the eye? How much will be the human intervention required as we talk of the technology intervention today? And as scientists, as we have learned to do retrospective and perspective, if you look back 25 years, that is 1998 or so, what was new? The new was a VCR, a very favorite commodity for dowry. If you talk to the younger generation, they would not even know of it. The other 98 phenomena was this courier. Only yesterday, I came across somebody in Delhi. They said, we went to book a courier, and that service is closed down. There are no takers. What was new in 98? STD booth. The political leaders would be, crowded with people asking them for an STD booth, because they thought then the son would just sit, have nothing to do, and make easy money. But before the son grew up, the booth shut down. So it's not an easy task to visualize 2047. But we, having a scientific training, I think we are better equipped compared to even the professional bureaucrats to lay down some kind of a roadmap, which could be of assistance to them also. And therefore, rising our gender, of course, which I think is now only in mind. And as Professor Sood rightly said, if we don't observe International Women's Day, we would not even know, because so much of equity has already happened. It's virtually now no longer, but thanks, if we didn't, then we wouldn't have met all these spouses. So having said that, I think I must once again thank Dr. Kalai Selvi for having shown the world that, look here, this happens when you have a woman at the helm. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You're humble and you're generous, but you always share so much new insights, and all these things that you've talked about, the reforms happening in different sectors, are really, really worthy for us to note. You have not said much, sir, but we've seen and we have witnessed how you've promoted startups, especially women startups. You've had many of these conferences all over the country, especially in Jammu and Kashmir. I can share with you that once 2 women cricketers came and talked to me, and of course the reason was that sir has always encouraged and created an enabling atmosphere all around. We thank you so much, sir, for all this. और एक लाइन जो मैं अगले कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करूं एक महिलाओं के लिए, कुछ रिवाजें छोड़ दें हम, कुछ रिवायतें भी, क्योंकि अब आगे बढ़ने का फन है और यही समा भी है. So let's create the enabling atmosphere and let's move ahead, rise and shine, and let's also go ahead now with the program. And the program now includes, again, felicitation. I would now invite Dr. N. Kalai Selvi, our Honorable DG CSIR, to now felicitate Honorable Minister Dr. Jiten Singh and Mrs. Manju Singh. We have also suddenly witnessed that Arunodai ji is here, the son of Dr. Jiten Singh. He talked about, girls, daughters not being there, but we welcome you to the program. Why don't you also come on the stage and be with us? Arunodai ji, I welcome you. So the virtue of family being a unit, which leads to a better society and leads to a better nation. And we can witness that right away happening here in this hall of CSIR. Thank you so much for being there, all of you. And thank you so much, sir, and all the very best to all of you. Yeah, Professor A.K. Sood is right here, sir. Your words of wisdom we just listened to, and we're always inspired by your presence. Let's the felicitation of Professor A.K. Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. And now to the one who wants to really break the barriers, who has done so already, Ms. Nivruti Roy. Welcome onto the stage once again. And it's time for felicitation to our guest of honor. She's also on the board of CSIR and has really shown efficiency in areas of artificial intelligence, engineering, and science and innovation. एंड मैम डॉक्टर एन कलाई सेल्वी मैम, अभी तो आपका भी फेलिसिटेशन होना है, हो गया है, अच्छा हो गया है, ऑलरेडी हो गया है अच्छा ओके, थैंक यू सो मच सर. ओके, नाउ वी हैव अ वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग सेशन. हम आप इतनी संख्या में यहाँ आए हैं इस प्रोग्राम में, तो हम आपके लिए कुछ ना कुछ नगीने लेकर आए हैं, कुछ ना कुछ थोड़ी बहुत नई चीज़ें आपके लिए CSIR आजकल लेकर आया है. और ये है अब स्पाउसेस फोरम मीट. चूँकि यहाँ आप अपने अपने स्पाउसेस के साथ आए हैं, तो हमने सोचा कि क्यों ना आपसे भी थोड़ी बातचीत की जाए और समझा जाए कि आप लोग कैसे एक दूसरे का भी साथ दे रहे हैं और काम में, यानी वर्क प्लेस पे हाउ यूर कोऑपरेटिंग एंड कोऑर्डिनेटिंग विद ईच अदर, विच इज़ व्हाट इज़ वेरी वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड शेयर. So this is called Spouses Forum Meet, and what I am going to do now is to come down from the stage amidst all of you and talk to you. But उससे पहले मंच से अब नीचे हम सब मुख्य अतिथियों और अन्य अतिथियों का निवेदन करेंगे कि वो अपनी अपनी सीट ग्रहण कर लें. उसके बाद में ये आप देना चाह रहे थे. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर. थैंक यू सर.
कौन है? हेलो, कौन हटाएगा?
इनका सर का शॉल है, दे दीजिए. अच्छा, मुझे हैंडल्ड माइक चाहिए. इट विल बी गिवन टू यू. Am I audible? Yeah, I am. And you know that I am coming to her. बहुत ही स्टीरियोटिपिकल लग सकता है मैम, लेकिन कहते हैं कि जो महिलाएं हैं वो पुरुषों के सफल पुरुषों के पीछे प्रेरणा होती हैं. तो आप कैसे इनको देखेंगे? अभी ये कह रहे थे कितना वक्त दे पाते हैं सर इतने अपने व्यस्तता के बीच. वी डोंट नो हाउ वुड यू रियली सी दैट प्रेरणा हैपनिंग देयर.
प्रेरणा का तो मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकती, पर वक्त वाकई नहीं दिया. क्या है इसकी एक एग्जांपल दे सकती हूँ. बेटे बड़े की शादी थी, सो इट वाज ऑर्गेनाइज्ड इन जम्मू. सो छोटे की तो अभी दिल्ली में की, वो जम्मू में थी. सो ही केम पहले तो कह रहे थे इतने 2-3 फंक्शन क्यों रखें, एक ही रखो, आई डोंट हैव टाइम, पर अब अपने रिश्तेदारों के साथ करना पड़ता है, वो रखे हमने। देन ही केम, और रिसेप्शन जिस दिन थी उस रात को बस ये रुके, सवेरे सवेरे की फ़्लाइट लेके, मैं तो जा रहा हूँ। तो आई सेड अच्छा जाइए, आपके बेटे की शादी थोड़ा है, मेरी है, आप मेहमान हो, आप जा सकते हैं। एंड ही वेंट, एक्चुअली ही वेंट अर्ली मॉर्निंग। तो बाकी प्रेरणा पता नहीं अब ये बता सकते हैं, मैं नहीं।
नहीं नहीं सर, हम आपको भी नहीं छोड़ेंगे, आपको भी नहीं छोड़ेंगे सर। आप प्रेरणा के बारे में आप बताएंगे कि समय किस तरह से जंगल कर पाते हैं सर।
No, I think she has remarkably got used. So, in fact, right from day one, I was doing a thesis when I married her, so there's no time given. But as happens in most of us, I think in my first or second year after I got married, there was some kind of a strike happened in the hospital. So a call came to me. I had to leave at 1 o'clock. And when they had settled everything, by 7 o'clock, it settled in the morning, so I came back. Usually I walk out of the house. I wake up early in the morning. So she was walking out and I came in. तो उसने कहा कि अब यहाँ तक नौबत आ गई कि सुबह सैर भी आप दिन वाले जूते पहन के जाने शुरू हो गए. तो so much was the disconnect. But I remained quiet. When I went back for the rounds, yes, I told my boys, I said, now the circle is complete. my spouse is used to whatever I am. I think that's the story with many of us.
And ma'am, with your kind permission, I would like to add that I attended Arunoday's marriage. And you know, I attended so many VIP marriages in Delhi, but that was the marriage, you know, top medical professionals, escorts chief and all, they all were there. From Prime Minister, President to Vice President, HM, all cabinet ministers were there. Top media executives, not only owners, but all editors, they were there. And most of, you know, important thing, all Jammu opposition leaders, National Conference, PDP chiefs, all were there. When around 9:15 I was leaving the venue, I saw Kani Mohi is coming alone. So she came from Chennai. And Supriya Sule and all opposition leaders. So Kani Mohi, I escorted her to stage, but sir was not on the stage. I said, just I'm calling the sir. And you know, the dish-wise, you know, there were Kashmiri Wazwa, so Kahwas. So Kashmiri people, all Jammu Kashmir, they all enjoyed. Food-wise, organization-wise. But that was the best marriage I have, you know, ceremony I have ever attended, sir.
The marriage
Where
wise, yeah.
not only, sir, not only the bureaucrats, top level RSS leaders were there. All BJP spokesperson from top to bottom, because sir was all.
महिलाओं की बारी है, छीनना पड़ता है सर ऐसे माइक को.
He was there also as a guest only. He didn't know what all. I think this is a top notch.
Ma'am wants to maintain her line. ये headline को जाने नहीं देना. No, but we are thankful, and I think you're a beautiful couple, and all the best wishes, sir and ma'am. Sir, I'm coming to you also. He's looking here and there. So, who makes the decision at home finally? That is my question. Who makes the decision at home finally?
You should have asked her.
That's what you say, ma'am. Who is the last word?
No, they will make their own. I'm just witnessing. That's it.
You're just witnessing.
I'll give my views. They will take their own. That's it.
Okay. So I have more to answer. 2-3 more. Ma'am, of course. Ma'am, what is that meaningful dialogue which happens at home? Because
When should I get ready tomorrow? That is a meaningful dialogue. I think normally, we talk mostly through messages, WhatsApp messages. So I go home to sleep, that he also knows. So very rarely we talk these days. Otherwise, we used to listen to music together. So I think that is a common binding that we have.
what am I hearing? Some music is the dialogue. Say something.
What is it that you want him to say?
No. I mean, how do you really find time? She's saying hardly. I mean, she's a very busy person these days, of course. So how do you snatch time, and how do you really take her time?
It is very difficult to catch up her.
Okay, catch up. Very difficult to catch her time. So basically, we're also talking about how family becomes a very important unit. It's like the pillar which provides strength for everyone to move on, to rise and shine. I would also like to ask Nivruti, you talked a lot about breaking gender barriers and all those things, but at least there is a soft part. How do we really create that balance where we have to show strength, but we also have to create our softer corners?
I can tell you something very honestly. I took the job at Intel because my husband was already there. और मुझे मन था कि मैं उनके साथ चाय पी सकूं, खाना खा सकूं, लंच पे कैफेटेरिया में बैठ सकूं. That's the soft part of me.
Anything you'd like to say, sir, on this? Add to that?
No, I think so wise people are talking. I will not like to add.
अच्छा, मैं अब उस रो में आना चाहूँगी क्योंकि वो रो थोड़ा सा पीछे है अभी. So he's already smiling, thinking, what is my question? So I think having to devise these questions, sir, is also important. And we talked about decisions. But again, negotiating work-life balance, it's always asked to a woman. How do you maintain work-life balance? How do you maintain your work-life balance?
I think something that Honorable Minister said really correctly, which I follow, is the intuition of your wife, actually. And I've realized that that's the most valuable advice that I get whenever I do balance, anything I need to balance, my work balance in life. Anyway, I think the balance is critical because you should do little things, but if you do it together, it's a great fun, actually. And that's what we really believe in. And that's become a part of life, actually, right now.
Let's get it endorsed by her. You do it together.
I agree because I think one of the most important things we try to do is to have our dinner together, if not anything, because that's the only time we get to meet. I leave the house at 7:15 in the morning, and he comes back at 8:30, almost 8:30. So dinner time is the only time we have together. So we make it a point to be together at that time.
Dinner is becoming very crucial here. I can see that. और किनका है अब? हाँ, सर अच्छा नहीं सबसे पूछ लेंगे थोड़ा जल्दी पूछ लेते हैं आपसे भी पूछ लेते हैं आप कि ये बताइए फिर कि समय निकाला कैसे जाए और अगर निकले तो घर में वो क्या चीज़ है जिसको प्राथमिकता दी जाए कि कर लेते हैं दोनों साथ साथ.
देखो मंत्री जी ने वैसे सबके बारे में ना हमारे बिहार पे सबका बता दिया है बिल्कुल परफेक्ट जो इन्होंने एनालिसिस किया है ओवर द इयर्स वही है. लेकिन बात कहने की है तो ये है कि आजकल जैसे अभी बताया डिनर के टाइम पे हम बात करते हैं और शायद कभी कभी पहले आ जाएं यदि मिल जाएं तो वॉक भी इकट्ठे कर लेते हैं. मैं एक कैंपस में दोनों हम प्रोफेसर हैं लेकिन प्रोफेसर की लाइफ एक अलग तरह की लाइफ होती है यूनिवर्सिटी में और अब एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में आने के बाद थोड़ा परिवर्तन हुआ है और मेरे को लगता है कि वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस बनाते हैं और दोनों ही एक दूसरे को हेल्प भी करते हैं.
जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. और थोड़ा सा पीछे भी अब जाना चाहूँगी बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ बहुत दूर से आए हुए हैं. आप में से कोई और बोलना चाहेंगे? सर आप बोलना चाहेंगे? You know how we are actually looking at family. Family is a very crucial unit because at workplaces we all work, we go home, then we have a different life. But how do we really, look at that part becoming very crucial? We are also talking about supporting each other.
Okay. For me, because both are working, my wife and both, so we try to see that we at least have lunch and dinner together.
Lunch and dinner
together. And also, COVID had taught us many things that we need to support and all these things.
Okay, so need to support lunch dinners, yes. मैम, सुमन मैम, आप हमें बताइए कि नया क्या कर सकते हैं. हमेशा हम वर्क प्लेस में होते हैं तो हम अपनी कई बार घर जाते हैं तो बहुत सारी बात होती है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन भी होती है कई बार, ये हुआ ये नहीं हुआ. ऐसा क्या करें जिससे कि सहभागिता बढ़े और हमें मजबूती मिल पाए, खासकर आप इतना सारा काम कर रही हैं.
थैंक यू. हमारे हस्बैंड भी साइंटिस्ट हैं, अभी जस्ट रिटायर हुए हैं 2 महीने पहले. फ्रस्ट्रेशंस को घर में सुनाने से कोई ज़्यादा फ़ायदा नहीं होता है क्योंकि हस्बैंड सुनता बहुत कम है. एंड जैसे कि मंत्री जी ने कहा सभी बिहाफ ऑफ द मेल्स, मैं भी बिहाफ ऑफ फीमेल्स बोल रही हूँ. मोस्ट ऑफ द हस्बैंड्स डू नॉट हियर. इफ़ दे कैन हियर अस, many of the problems will be solved. but I must tell you that. But we are very understanding couple, and we do share few times, and we, if nothing, we fight together always. Thank you.
पीछे ही बैठे हैं सर, तो छोड़ेंगे नहीं आपको. She's saying we fight together. That's our dialogue.
The best thing is keep quiet.
Okay, अवनीश जी, आप बताइए कुछ कि क्या और करना चाहिए, क्या ऐसा करें जिससे कि वर्क पे भी सपोर्ट सिस्टम्स बने, साथ काम करें कलेक्टिवली, और घर में भी उसको खूबसूरत बनाएं.
आई थिंक दोनों साइड से जनरल स्टेटमेंट दिए जा चुके हैं. मंत्री जी ने हम लोगों का साथ दिया और दूसरी ओर से भी हो गया, तो
वो तो सबका साथ दे रहे हैं.
कुछ कहने और सुनने को बचा ही नहीं है. पर एक कॉमन फोरम होता है जहाँ हम लोग मिलते हैं और आपस की अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है, जिससे कि सब कुछ साथ साथ चलता है.
और इस तरह के प्रोग्राम जहाँ इंटरेक्शंस हो, आपको लगता है कि अच्छा
डेफिनेटली इस तरह के प्रोग्राम्स हो, इंटरेक्शन हो, और इससे जो एक जो फैमिली कल्चर जो ऑफिस में क्रिएट होता है, उसकी ये शुरुआत है आज इंटरनेशनल वुमेन्स डे. थैंक यू.
और डॉक्टर बंदोपाध्याय यहाँ पर हैं, तो आप बताइए, आपको रसगुल्ला बनाने आता है?
नहीं, I know how to eat rasgulla.
अच्छा.
Yeah, so yes, better to listen to the bosses at home also. And no, but but on seriously, yes, we are very blessed with women in our life, mother and wife. And I have to, my wife is mother of twin sons, so she has to manage 3 men in the family.
Okay, so she has to manage a lot, I think.
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing, and she's very, very good, brilliant.
Okay, I'll just give the mic to him. I'm coming from that side to him now. I want everyone to speak up. Actually, today is the time, and quickly we want to take all these voices. अब आपकी बारी है सर, बताइए कुछ कैसे ऐसा काम करें. हम लोग एक CSIR के इस प्रोग्राम में हैं, लेकिन उसको और बेहतर हम बनाएं, इसीलिए ज़रूरी होता है कि परिवार के लोग भी हमें मजबूती दें. कैसे होगा?
जैसा कि सभी ने कहा है, मंत्री जी ने सभी मेल्स ऑन पार्ट ऑफ मेल एंड
नहीं, आप पूरी अपनी बात कह सकते हैं.
मेरा तो ऐसा है कि समय से यदि शाम को घर पर आ जाए और एक साथ शाम की चाय घर पर पी लें, वो बहुत बड़ी बात होगी, जो मैं कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ. कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, हो सकता है भविष्य में जरूर कामयाबी प्राप्त होगी.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर. तो डिनर लंचेस की बात हो गई, चाय की भी इन्होंने बात कर दी, लेकिन ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि घर की चाय मिल जाए और साथ साथ पी पाए. मैं उस साइड में जाऊंगी क्योंकि कुछ लोग वहाँ मौजूद हैं और उनसे भी हम बातचीत कर लेते हैं, और उसके बाद हम जल्दी जल्दी इस कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हैं क्योंकि सर का समय. Sir wants Prashant Jha to speak. Your thoughts on creating dialogue at home or supporting maybe spouse, partner, women?
For the last 4 years, in fact, my routine has been completely aligned with the Honorable Minister's routine. so naturally, we don't get much time. So I ensure that, yes, so at least I go for a, movie late night, but I make it sure that I sit on an aisle seat, because at 10 o'clock, again, I'll get a call from the minister, so I can move out of the hall and then talk to him. But she's quite understanding, and she has understood that. So it's going on quite well.
Okay, so you have heard it. You have heard
just sir, little surprise. Sir, little surprise to you, sir. This morning I was coming to this program, but I got a call from PMO to do a story on onions. Onion prices are crashing. So with Agriculture Secretary, I've done that. Then I told my wife. My wife is here, sir. Priyanka is here. I'm going to. I told her I'm going to International Women's Day program. तो कह रहा कि उसमें आप जाओगे, हमको बगैर लिए. हम कह रहे कैसी मैं ऐसी गुस्ताखी कर सकता हूँ.
तो आप कितने सपने नहीं, आपसे सवाल है अभी, आप सब पूछे मत. मेरा सवाल आपसे पूछ रहा है, फिर आप घर में कितना सहयोग देते हैं?
मैं सुबह 3 बजे जगता हूँ, सर को मालूम है.
सर को मालूम है, उनको मालूम है.
3 बजे मैं 3 बजे 4 बजे तक मैं पूरा जितनी कवरेज होती है, सर को आयुष को दे देता हूँ. अगले दिन की उस दिन की
तैयारी
जो
शुरू कर
प्रिपरेशंस है उसकी रिलीज तैयार करके 6 o'clock 6:30 अपने बच्चे को संस्कृति पढ़ता है, बस में छोड़ने जाता हूँ, 2 घंटे का वॉक करता हूँ, सर भी वॉक करते हैं, वॉक करते करते हम लोगों की फिर प्लानिंग होती है कि हैदराबाद में क्या कहना है, क्या करना है। तो
उनके बारे में बात करनी है।
तो मैडम जो है, मैडम क्या करती मैडम हमारे लिए पपीता, अंगूर, फ्रूट्स रखती हैं, उसके बाद गाय का दूध खुद जाके प्रोक्योर करती हैं, और एक हमारे वहाँ अनंत राम डेयरी से, और उसके बाद उसमें ढेर सारा बीज, ये वो किशमिश उसमें डाल के एक
बहुत बड़ाई होगी, बहुत बढ़िया, तालियां इनके लिए। थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू। एंड श्रीदेवी मैम फ्रॉम मैसूर, शी इज हियर। आई मेट हर अर्लियर मैम, बट आज आपसे ये कहूँगी कि अक्सर हम कहते हैं कि नहीं नहीं महिलाओं को बड़ी तकलीफ है, लेकिन अब थोड़ा सा सर से भी पूछना चाहेंगे कि क्या तकलीफ कैसा है?
नहीं, कोई तकलीफ नहीं है। एक्चुअली इज बीन वेरी वेरी सपोर्टिव। ही क्विट हिज जॉब फॉर मी।
Oh, round of applause for sir.
And it's marriage is all about give and take. He's been giving, I've been taking.
I like that. I like that. He's been giving. So give and take, और ये जो मोल भाव लेन देन, इन सब के बावजूद, I think the beautiful point here is in this CSIR hall and this program today, and we're very thankful, sir, Manju ji and Dr. Jiten Singh, sir, for your presence. कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं?
Same is the story for me also. So because of me, my husband also left his job now. So always we are in the receiving end and they are in the giving end. That's why I said men are always magnanimous in supporting women. So that's the point. Thank you.
That's a very good. That's a very.
So this is last one. You know, the 3 firebrand ladies in parliament. One is Mahua Moitra, another is Supriya Sule, and third is Kani Mohi. They all attack government left and right, okay, but they are so close to sir, and sir is and they keep meeting me, and they always say, you have got a wonderful minister who never trolls anyone, who has no negativity, and you know, Prime Minister makes a point whenever he answers questions regarding Department of Space or atomic energy. He makes a point to sit there throughout, and and they all make a small request to sir, you know, because this Kendriya Vidyalaya quota has been vanished, but sir will go extra mile to, you know, cater to their needs. And sir is the only minister, I am telling you with my command, because 22 years I am watching parliament. I was covering parliament from Prasar Bharati, now as a PIB officer. He is the only minister I look after 7 ministries and 21 departments, agriculture, rural, but he keeps me engaged 24/7 into the science departments and science ministries, and I always love work, you know, but sir is so liberal, broad-minded that
May I interrupt? Sorry for that. Thank you so much. And what a wonderful, engaging session. I'm sure we can go on and on, but just it has to come to an end. So at the end, I will request DG ma'am to honor our very, very effervescent, I would say, anchor Rakhi Bakshi ji. And Priyanka ji, may I have you here? I'm sorry, I wasn't aware. You please, Priyanka ji, Shambhu ji, aap saath mein aaye. Please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Rakhi.
I have to go there now. Yeah, we now are preparing ourselves for the next item, which is a cultural program, and which is also going to be very, very interesting. And हॉल्स की जो लाइट्स हैं वो ऑफ करेंगे तो ये डांस परफॉर्मेंस ज़्यादा अच्छे से लोग देख पाएंगे. प्लीज़ दोज हु आर मैनेजिंग द लाइट्स, प्लीज कंट्रोल रूम लाइट्स. तो अब मैं बहुत जल्दी बुलाना चाहूँगी टी रेडी लक्ष्मी और उनके ट्रुप को, जिसमें है तान्या गोस्वामी, Sangla Das and Parvati, along with others. This Kuchipudi Natya performance is very, very interesting and empowering also, I would say. Lakshmi has really shown the true Kuchipudi style of dancing, which is called Quicksilver style of dancing. और उन्होंने अपने गुरुजी से बहुत ही सालों तक अथक प्रयास और मेहनत करके अपने डांस को, अपने नृत्य को और निखारा है, और उनको अवार्ड भी मिल चुका है, और अब वो अपना एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी चलाती हैं, प्रज्ञा, और उसके साथ लेकर अपने नृत्य को आगे बढ़ रही हैं. उनकी ट्रुप और टी रेड्डी लक्ष्मी जी का मैं स्वागत और अभिनंदन करती हूँ आज इस कार्यक्रम में. ओवर टू यू.
Namaskar. The artists today will start their presentation with the Vinayaka Kautvam, a composition of Saint Surdas, translated into Telugu. Kautvam means poetic quality. Earlier, Kautvams were performed as rituals by temple dancers. The lyrics explains that Lord Ganesha is dancing while the Brahma himself plays the rhythm. Lord Ganesha, who is supreme among all the Devaganas, is dancing and is as bright as crores of stars. Vinayaka Kautvam in Ragam Mohana and Aditalam will be performed by Tanya Goswami, Sangeeta Das and Sanjana Naya. We will now proceed to present Durga Tarangam, a composition of Sri Yatinarayana Tirtha. Durga, the Mahishasuramardhini, also known as Adi Parashakti, is an embodiment of Shakti, Mother, Goddess, who rules the universe. Durga Tarangam is preceded by Durga Stotram and followed by the dance on the edges of the brass plate, symbolizing the union of Atma and Paramatma. Durga Tarangam, a choreography of Guru V. Jayarama Rao, in Ragam Hamsadhwani and Aditalam. The music credits for the audio: on vocals Shri Satish Venkatesh, on Natuvangam Padmashri Guru Jayarama Rao, Mridangam by Shri Tanjavur Keshavan, flute by Shri Rajat Prasanna, violin by Master Raghavendra Prasad. The dancers: T. Reddy Lakshmi, Sanjana Nair, Tanya Goswami, Sangeeta Das. Presenting Durga Tarangam.
चामुण्डायै विच्चै ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं 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 चामुण्डायै विच्चै जय जय दुर्गे जितवैरी वर्गे 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 दुर्गे जितवैरी वर्गे जय जय दुर्गे जितवैरी वर्गे प्रियदनि लोदि विचित्र सर्गे प्रियदनि लोदि विचित्र सर्गे जय जय दुर्गे जितवैरी वर्गे प्रियदनि लोदि विचित्र सर्गे जय जय दुर्गे जितवैरी वर्गे सुन्दरतर चरणारविन्दे श्रुत परिपालित लोकवृन्दे सुन्दरतर चरणारविन्दे श्रुत परिपालित लोकवृन्दे नरकिन्नरवर सुरभुगीते नारायण सोदरी वरानंदे नारायण सोदरी वरानंदे जय जय दुर्गे जितवैरी वर्गे प्रियदनि लोदि विचित्र सर्गे जय जय दुर्गे जितवैरी वर्गे सरसमणिपूर संगत पादे समधिगता तिल सागवेदे सरसमणिपूर संगत पादे समधिगता तिल सागवेदे सरसमणिपूर संगत पादे समधिगता तिल सागवेदे सरसमणिनूपुर संगत पादे समधिगता किल सांगवेदे सरसमणिनूपुर संगतपादे समधिगताखिल साङ्गवेदे 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 सरसमणिनूपुर संगतपादे समधिगताखिल साङ्गवेदे
तक दिन तकुंद टिकट तक तक दिन तकुंद टिकट तक तक दिन तकुंद टिकट तक दिन तकुंद टिकट तक
सरसमणिनूपुर संगतपादे समधिगताखिल साङ्गवेदे सरसमणिनूपुर संगतपादे समधिगताखिल साङ्गवेदे सरसमणिनूपुर संगतपादे समधिगताखिल साङ्गवेदे सरसमणिनूपुर संगतपादे
huge round of applause for this Nari Shakti, which is depicted here in the Abhinaya, the Rasa, Moha, Karuna, Saha, Shakti. Everything has been depicted, and we are really, truly thankful to you, T. Reddy Lakshmi and her troupe. Once again, we welcome your presence onto the stage, and I think Madam would like to felicitate T. Reddy Lakshmi. Ji, are we ready? DG, ma'am. Yeah, and time is less, so we have to really run through everything. Sir would like to come, and Manjuji. I was watching their footwork, and it's so complex, but they have done it so brilliantly. I think this is really mesmerizing. Ma'am, they would be truly delighted if you come here, ma'am, Manjuji.
They have taken us to a totally different world. And the expressions were so amazing. I think you need a very, very special appreciation for that.
For that, seriously. And we need to learn that balance from the Thali dance. Manjuji, welcome. Many, many thanks for this, and this was a beautiful performance, as we have just seen. Not only beautiful, but it is immense power and energy, feminine power and Shakti that has been showcased here. Yeah, now the vote of thanks, Ranjana ji. I would request Dr. Ranjana Agrawal for vote of thanks now. Director NISPAR, Dr. Ranjana Agrawal.
Namaskar and a very good afternoon to all. I know I am standing between you and lunch, so I will be very brief. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on the special occasion of celebrating International Women's Day 2023. I truly believe that expressing thanks at the culmination of any event is not only a ceremonial duty, but it is an expression of gratitude felt by heart for the people involved in making the event a success. So first and foremost, I on my own behalf and on behalf of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our chief guests, respected Mrs. Manju Singh and Honorable Minister and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today on a very special event, International Women's Day 2023. Sir, you have always championed the cause of women empowerment, particularly in STEM, but today's your thoughts have truly motivated the women scientists of CSIR to take up the challenges, convert them into opportunities, and create mark for themselves in S&T ecosystem. Madam, my words are not enough to express our gratitude to you for being with us today. As sir mentioned, and after the discussion we understand, सर सब बाहर की चीज़ों का ध्यान रखते हैं सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि आप सब बाकी का संभाल रही हैं. So you are a true Shakti Swarupa behind him, and that's why he is able to contribute to so much to the nation. So we are feeling highly inspired, all the women, with your charm and dignified persona. We will ever remain grateful to you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm extremely grateful to Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India, Professor A.K. Sood, for blessing us with his gracious presence and words of wisdom which he has delivered today. Sincere thanks to Ms. Nivriti Roy, VP Intel Foundry Services, Intel Corporation, and country head in Intel India, for accepting our invitation and basically sharing her journey. And I think her address today will motivate the young scientists, women scientists of CSIR to accept challenges and, excel with hard work and passion. I express my sincere thanks to Dr. Ravi Chandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Mrs. Ishwari and young Nivedita, and Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, and Mrs. Asima Rajesh for gracing the occasion today. I would like to thank our beloved DG, Director General, CSIR, Dr. Ankalai Selvi, for conceptualizing the event consisting of very unique features and for constant guidance that radiated a source of energy within us to organize this event. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks to all director colleagues of CSIR laboratories and head of divisions at headquarters and their better halves, some of them didn't appear, for being part of the celebrations. At this juncture, I would like to extend special thanks to Director NPL, Dr. Venugopal Achanta, for hosting the event in the NPL auditorium and providing every possible logistic help to organize this event. My special thanks are for the members of core organizing committee of the event, Dr. Suman Kumari Mishra, Director CGCRI Kolkata, Dr. Shridevi Annapurna Singh, Director CFTRI Mysore, Dr. N. Anandavali, Director SCRC Chennai, Dr. Radha Rangarajan, CDRI Lucknow, Dr. Shridevi Jade, Head 4PI Bangalore, and Dr. Purnima Rupal, HOD SCGD at headquarters. Shri Chetan Jain, Financial Advisor, and Shri Mahendra Gupta, Joint Secretary CSIR, deserve special thanks for their help and support in all possible manner at various stages. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by highly motivated and dedicated teams from NPL, NISPER, 4PI, SCDD, Admin, Finance, and IT from headquarters, who have worked cohesively to make this event a grand success. Without you, this event would not have been possible in such a short time. I thank the honorable invitees from all 37 labs across the country to be part of this celebration, online, offline both. Thanks are due to Rakhi Bakshi for coordinating the whole program so very well, and Ms. T. Reddy Lakshmi for her mesmerizing Kuchipudi dance performance, and media friends for covering the event. I think I will not be able to thank each and everyone by taking names, but I would like to thank each and everyone who has been here and who has been part of the whole organizing team and making this a wonderful and memorable event for CSIR Women Scientists. Thank you so very much again. Thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Ranjana Agrawal, because we had late night meetings and we all were there. To all women today, once again, a round of applause for really offering solidarity and coming together. Thank you so much, but now it's time to rise for our national anthem. Thank you so much. And now it's time for a group photo. And of course, there would be lunch there. Photo. Yaha. So let's call everyone on the stage. Purnima ji, should we do it here or bahar? Yahi kare? We want all those people, dignitaries who have been felicitated, they should come onto the stage.